And we're live. Hello, how you doing? No. Hello everybody. I'm Captain. This is Joey Edibles. Joey, tell everybody all about yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Joel Varela. I go by Joey Edibles on YouTube. I'm a mixed use entertainer on the YouTube. I'm a stand-up comic by trade. I've talked to many famous celebrities, to include Tommy Chong and Doof. You can catch my show Fridays on YouTube. A lot of you guys know me already. And I'm here with the beautiful Captain. Hails overseas. We're across the pond. They couldn't do this shit in 1970, bro. This is like modern shit today we're doing.
No.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And neither of us were born in 1970, so
Definitely impossible to do when you're not
yeah,
born.
will be doubly difficult. So, Joey, first of all, thank you for doing this. It's you're my guinea pig. We're just going to do this. So, I'm just going to throw 20 questions at you, plus one. Some of them are daft, some of them are more serious. Answer what you want to answer, don't answer, so and we'll just go for it. So
Let's do it.
So let's go. So question number one. I can't even remember, I wrote somebody. So what is your favorite YouTube channel?
Ooh, that's a good one. What's my favorite YouTube channel? Shit. It's so hard because there's so all I watch is YouTube. Like that's all I watch pretty much.
Yep.
I watch games on regular TV and stuff like that, but most of the regular stuff is just YouTube. My favorite channel. Fuck, that's a really hard question. I don't want to say the stereotypical my own because obviously you got to be your own biggest fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, besides me,
and if it's one of your friends, and I'm not saying me because I'm not a YouTuber still, but if it is somebody then
don't get me wrong. I like a lot of my friends. I like Squirrel.
Yeah.
I like you. I like DB and stuff like that. But like, not necessarily the stuff they're going to do is going to be my favorite. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big reaction guy. I'm not a big video game guy. And there's some really good YouTubers doing reactions to video games. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if Squirrel did a comedy channel, it'd probably be my favorite. But like, he doesn't do comedy. He just does reactions. So it's like, man, it'd have to be somebody big, famous kind of thing. But even then, there's nobody who like checks all the boxes. It's really kind of an unanswerable question. I know it's kind of a dodge, but like I like certain aspects of certain shows, but I don't like everybody to the point where it's like, oh, I'm this guy's biggest person ever. I think it's because I've talked to so many people. It's so spread out that I can't. It's hard for me to fanboy. It really is. Like I like stuff, but like it's just a box on a screen. It's just another person. It's hard for me to really focus on just one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think you sort of hit on it. I subscribe to a lot of channels whose content I don't like, but just because I like the people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to watch everybody does, but if I like the people enough that I'll give them a thumbs up and I'll jump in and not Blake TV. Definitely not Blake TV.
Blake's definitely top 4,000 channels that I like. Definitely top 4, maybe 5,000. I don't know. It depends.
Although he is still more famous on IMDb than you are, which is still
That's true. Actually, we can look up them. Let me look up them numbers while we're talking here. Let's see IMDb. All right, we're gonna look up Blake's and mine's numbers real quick. Stand by. I can tell you what mine is right off the rip. All right, I am 1,212,542. Let's see what Blake is because I'm probably better than Blake this week. All right, Blake Harton. He is 7,320,000. So Blake, I'm 6 million more people popular than you this week, bro. So suck it.
Yeah, fair play. So what's your favorite YouTube channel?
My favorite, I don't know. I don't really have. It's a multitude of them, I guess. I don't really know if I have. I mean, I'd have to look at my subs really.
No, that's all right. That's so
like there's not one that's a favorite. You know what I mean? There's so many that are. I mean, I like Vice. I mean, if you talk about big channels, I really do like Vice still. And I like some of the other guy, the bigger, the Mark, the one Mark dude. These videos are cool, but it's like it's not my favorite channel because he doesn't produce content all the time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Just as to answer the question, I would say Vice. They got really good content on there.
Apart from Take My Friends out of the equation, for me it'd be History Matters. They just do like animated sort of history stuff. They'll go like, why didn't Canada join the US, etc., etc. Why is Texas the shape it is? They're short, animated, sometimes funny, things, and I like that sort of,
There's a channel called the Infographics channel. It's just like that. I know what you're talking about. They'll take little animations and move them back and forth and stuff like that.
Joey's gonna win. That's thanks for watching, Phil. To be honest, I wouldn't watch this, to be honest. So we'll see how it goes. So, question number 2 then. Who's your favorite actor and why?
My favorite actor, man, probably Ed Norton. It's a weird one, but he was just so good in so many movies. Like, he was just phenomenal in Fight Club. He was so good. And then American History X, he was really good too.
Yeah, for a wee dude, he was brilliant as a skinhead.
He put on like 35 pounds of muscle. Like, that's insane. Look
but he's
at
only
him in Fight Club and look at him in American History X. I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, I'll be honest. But I don't think he's done anything good in a long time, which sort of puts me off. Tom Hanks is consistently good and consistently does good movies. So,
I like Leonardo DiCaprio too. He's a really good one. Brad Pitt's really good.
I do now. I didn't like Leo to begin with.
I like Leo. I always like Leo.
He was always just a wee pretty boy that you wanted to choke rather than watching a movie, But I've grown to appreciate him. Same with Brad Pitt. Didn't rate Brad Pitt at first, but realized he's a good actor.
Well, some of Leo's early work too. There was this movie called The Basketball Diaries.
Yeah,
he played a heroin addict. God, he was great in that movie. Fuck, that was a good movie. Nobody remembers that one, but that was good.
Yeah, it was very good. But I'm gonna fly the flag. Tom Hardy's. When you see Tom Hardy in The Drop, him, James Gandolfini's last movie, great movie, and Hardy's, I think seldom does a bad show. And he's in Peaky Blinders as well. So, okay. So, question 3. What's been the worst experience of your life?
The worst experience of my life. Let's see. That'd be one of the times I got drunk and did something stupid. So let's rewind and see what the bottom of the barrel would be. It's weird because, like, even my bottom experiences, I didn't get fired from work, or I didn't get kicked out of the guard, or what I mean. So it's like even the worst ones were still kind of
kicked out of the guard.
No, I didn't get kicked out of the guard. I'm saying
get kicked out
but I had DUIs while I was in the guard. Like, I had 2 DUIs by the time I was 3 years in, and they never even kicked me out. They just said, okay, whatever, and just let me go. And I've always skated on stuff like that. So it's hard to really pinpoint a worst experience. God, that's a hard question. Worst experience. I mean, probably around 2004-ish. 5-ish was probably around the worst. It's not really one experience. It's probably the worst time, I would say. Mid 2005, I was just quitted the drinking. I was drinking a lot, and then I had a girlfriend at the time who had MS, and it just wasn't working out, and I just kind of went off the deep end with the booze and stuff like that. So, but even then, it was literally right after I got my college degree. I was still in the guard, so it was like, things are going up. Once I quit drinking, I ended up getting married, having kids, getting a house, shit like that. So it's like, in life, all I got to do is literally not drink, and I'm successful. It's pretty easy. But I would probably say the worst experience is probably around that 2005 time frame, just because didn't have anybody, to love me, and I was drinking all the time, and it was, but I grew from it, though. I always because if you have bad experiences, you got to grow from that. It'd be like a seed. A seed of despair is tomorrow's fucking tree of awesomeness. You know what I mean? You got to really learn from your experiences. If you don't, you keep doing the same shit, man.
Absolutely.
I see so many fucking people every day. Oh, today is the worst day of my life. Did you do anything different? The one thing different, talk to somebody different, go to a different part of town, drive a different way home from work. I don't know, something different. If you keep doing the same shit and you're miserable every day, of course it's gonna be miserable. Fuck.
Who the fuck's Larry Hankin?
Larry Hankin was a guy I had on like 3 weeks ago that he was in Breaking Bad, Friends.
That Larry, right.
Yeah,
Okay, so okay then. Question 4. What would you trade for fame and fortune?
At this point, I don't really know if I would. I mean, because I'm not rich, but I'm okay. I got enough money coming in probably to, even if I fell off, there's VA money there. The VA would still take care of me. So there's not even a worst case scenario to where I can fuck up at this point. I've like fucked up proof my life. I mean, I suppose jail, but I don't really do anything illegal. I mean, all the shit I do is borderline, and even then it's only a misdemeanor. But what was the question again? Because you took it down. I forgot.
What was hold on? What would you trade for fame and fortune?
What would I trade for fame and fortune? I don't know. A couple bucks, maybe. I don't. Nothing that I have that would. I mean, if somebody was handing out fame and fortune, there's nothing I got to offer that would, give them the trade. So I mean, I don't know. It's not really an answerable question. I mean, they could have something in my house, I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna trade my family or kids or wife or anything like that, or none of my friends.
Well, definitely the kids, maybe the wife at some point. You think of the fame and the season tickets or free box tickets for every sport event you wanted, and I don't know.
I mean, 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I have a different answer to that question. But now that I'm so old, I mean, I'm not that old. I'm only in my mid 40s, but it's am I as famous as I'll get? I don't know. Probably, maybe there might be a little bit more upside. If I put some effort into comedy, I could probably get famouser by that. But I mean, usually the experience or the trade-off for fame and fortune is hard work. So that's probably what I'd have to trade.
Yeah. It's a difficult question. This one will really get you. How high can you jump?
We could try. Let's try jumping now. Shit, I could probably do a good foot. Let's see. Let's do a live jump demonstration with my fucked up ass feet. Let me see it. Stand up jump. Let's see how I can do it. I can still hit my feet right here. Watch this. There you go.
Okay.
Probably I wouldn't have 2 feet, something like that. I don't know. It's not terrible.
Yeah, maybe you should have worded that one. How can you jump high? That would be more appropriate these days.
I've never been able to dunk. I can get like a foot below the rim. I've never had really because I've always been not heavier, but I'm also not muscular, so it's I never really jump high. It's not I'm more of a knock people over than jump over them kind of guy.
Yeah, but I mean, you're a big guy. You have a big solid frame. Did you ever try playing yourself?
I played freshman and sophomore year. I played football, but it's there's so much. I'm not a big workout guy. I don't like working out at all, and I'm not a really big practice guy either. I mean, you see with lives, I just turn the camera and go. I don't rehearse and this and that. I don't cut the edit. I just like doing things. I don't like practicing. I don't like rehearsing. So it's football is a lot of practice. You got to rehearse the plays. You got to, tone your body for the block. And plus, I just don't like physical contact in terms of roughhousing. I've never been a fighter. Never been gladiator type. So it's to run, and especially I was a lineman. So we're running into people every play. It really kills your upper arms and shoulders, dude. You get out of football practice from here to here, be fucking bruises. So it's and by the time I was in the junior in high school, 11th grade, I found the beer by then. So it was game off with the football.
Right. The barman in New York once told me, when I was talking to him, a boss that I had at the time who I hated, who was a complete prick, but he run American football team here in Belfast, and he was sort of hinting at me joining because I'm a big lump. And I was talking to the barman. He went, "Don't fucking do it." He says, "It's not worth it. Too many people get hurt." But okay, then I'll not. So, right. Question 6. What's the best sporting moment of your life? Now, we know that doesn't mean you playing, but
right. Well, that's pretty easy. I mean, in 2016, the Cavs won the world title. That was, it was kind of transcendent, if I'm being real. I mean,
Cavs, that's basketball.
That's basketball. Yeah, I rented a room downtown at the Renaissance, and I remember the list, dude. I fucking went all out. I bought at the time, it was hard to get weed at the time, so I bought a quarter ounce of weed, a bottle of Crown Royal, bunch of beer. We went to the casino. We watched a game in the casino, and I was buying beers like 12 at a time because it was taking like half hour to get beers.
Yeah.
So we were standing there watching the game, and fucking boom, we won that shit. And man, I just sat in the side of, because we were right downtown Cleveland. They played the game in Oakland, but we were right downtown Cleveland. Right. I just sat in the side of, it was Ontario Street, right by the big Cavs billboard. I just sat there for like an hour. I don't know the exact time because I was fucking lit. I was lit. And I just sat there for like an hour or two, just overwhelmed. Because it's just like, I mean, you guys over there don't really know the history and suffering of Cleveland sports. I mean, there's been other cities that have, not won a title. Buffalo's never won a title, other cities like that. But like, man, the suffering that Cleveland and three major sports went through, especially in my lifetime, is just mind-boggling. I mean, the Browns alone is ridiculous. So like to have a team finally win it was just groundbreaking. I mean, chances are it might be the only title in my lifetime in the Cleveland. I mean, the last one before 2016 was 1964. It was 12 years before I was born. I was in my 40s before I fucking won it.
I don't understand that, because usually the draft system in football specifically shows the weaker teams get stronger and the stronger teams don't just dominate.
That's the way it's supposed to be with good management and good ownership, but we have a horrible owner who likes to buy his way into things, and he's just not really a good person to begin with. So if you have bad ownership in the NFL and you don't know how to run it's a salary cap league. So like you got to keep under that salary cap. If you don't manage it right, you're in purgatory and you're just hell. And the Browns have just been hell for so long. I mean, the team actually left in 1995. They moved to Baltimore, changed the name to the Ravens, and won a couple Super Bowls. That's just to rub in the fucking suffering we've had up here. It'd be like your team leaving Liverpool, going to fucking Leeds and then winning a couple titles. You'd be pissed at that probably.
Absolutely.
So it's like, for Browns fans to go through that, Cleveland fans to go through that, just to get one title was nice. But I mean, if the Browns ever win it, if the Browns even get close, it's going to be blow up. It's going to be next level. I don't know. With this owner, I don't even think it's going to happen at this point. But you can always hope.
See, we don't do the franchise thing, and it's really alien to us that like you say, if Liverpool just packed up and went, well, we're going to be Liverpool FC, but we're going to go move to fucking Birmingham because it's a bigger stadium, or we'll change ourselves to But I mean, I suppose all our clubs are named. Most of them are named after the cities they're in or the area in the city they're in, so it's slightly different. But the franchise is weird, and I don't see how you. I mean, you have a big fan base in Cleveland because you're the Cleveland Browns, and then the fuck off to somewhere else. How does that work? Because I mean, your home fans can't go to the match. So and all the fans in that area probably already support somebody else. I don't get it.
Because at the time, back in the day, Baltimore had the Colts, and the Colts moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis. So Baltimore didn't have a team for many years. So they were just, trying to get a team to move there. And in the NFL, National Football League is just different, man. We're even just American sports in general, we're more of a regional rooting interest. I mean, you'll get people who live in the area who don't root for the team in the area, but by and large, wherever you're at is the team you're going to root for. Like if you're living in Cleveland, you're just going to root for the Browns. That's how it is. I mean, you have people who root for teams here or there, but it's because it's so interwoven into the culture too. Like, like Sunday, we'll go down there at 7:00 and there's people tailgating in shit weather. It'll be 0 degrees Celsius. And people out there, it'll be negative. People just out there drinking, having the party, having the tailgate, the hot dogs, the burgers, etc. It's just it's so interwoven, especially up here in the north. Because like back, we were the industrial booms. Town, if you take a town like Birmingham in England, that's how Cleveland is. We big during the steel boom era, but after the industry leaves, what are you going to do? So it's like there's only so many things left to cling on to. Sports is one of them because it brings people together. So it's just huge in this area, especially up here in the north.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know. It's so ingrained in us that a lot of us support our local teams. I don't, because I'm from Northern Ireland and our local teams are shit. I support a local football team, but they're it's amateur football, and I don't go to the matches anymore. But so a lot of us in Ireland would adopt English or Scottish teams, but generally over there now it breaks out Liverpool, Man U, and that gets supported worldwide because they're Liverpool and they're Man U. But generally if you're born in Liverpool, you support one of the two Scouse teams, So, and the thought of them moving, just it's
insane,
it's
right?
weird. So, but Right. So next one, question 7: Are aliens real? And if so, have they visited Earth?
It's a hard no. I mean,
They're not real, or no, they haven't visited.
No, they don't exist, and then they haven't visited Earth. I mean, it's I show me a picture, show me evidence. I mean, everything can be explained. I think. I mean, people like to cling on to hopes that there's something way more awesome than they are, and no, this is it, folks. Like, if you're not making it here, you're not gonna make it anywhere. Like, I got news for you. You know, this is Earth is what it is. I mean, you got to play the hand you're dealt. I mean, some people got no shot if you're living in, you know, certain areas of China or Asia or Africa, whatever, South America. You know, that's not something I can control. It's just random chance. But I mean, this is it. There's no aliens sitting over here. There's no eighth dimension that could watch us what we're doing. I just don't believe it.
I don't think they're visited. I think the chance of we're the only life in the known galaxy is minuscule, because there's it is so vast. There's so many planets out there that they're starting to find it may have the building blocks for life. And if whether you believe in a creator or the alien overlords or we're in a simulation or whatever the fuck you believe in, the chances of us being the only life in the universe, I think, is remote. Have they been there?
Will we ever see them though? I mean,
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't. We got in our lifetime. We'll be lucky if they even have a moon base. I mean, we can't. There's it just. I mean, just the limitations of the way things are. I mean, we're obviously. I mean, let me put it like this: as we know life to exist, you know, like human beings, flesh breathing oxygen and shit like that, I think we're probably the only ones. There might be other forms out there that we're not familiar with, but like. Yeah. Humanoid forms talking like this, I'm pretty sure we're it.
Yeah, because I mean, Stephen Hawkins talked about it shortly before. It was he talked, he pressed his buttons, you know. Yes, I believe in aliens, or however the fuck he does it. That's a terrible impression, but he said if they've got the technology to reach us, they're coming to invade and take our resources. So you better hope they aren't out there. So, you know, we'll see, we'll see. Right, next one. Okay. Who on YouTube has let you down the most?
Who on YouTube has let me down the most? Ooh, that's a good one. Because there's, and it's not going to be somebody in the community. I'm not going to say that because there are people.
Why? Feel free.
No, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Certain people in the community are, you know, if I grow with you and I can meet you, that's fine. But you know, people come and go. I'm not going to get pissed at. People have different life things. Sometimes they're just, you know, done with YouTube. They can't do it anymore. Shit goes on. People grow. The people I'm pissed at, Captain, this is just a nitpick of mine in the type of interviews I do, is that, you know, I'll email people, hey, can you do the show? They're like, yeah, I can do the show. Cool. And I'll email them back, hey, can you do next Friday at 5:30? And then ghosts. I hear fucking nothing. Literally nothing. They don't respond. They don't say, oh, this isn't a fit anymore. They just stop talking. There's a good 20 of these people at this point. The one that probably pissed me off the most was Constantine Maroulis from American Idol, because I was 35 emails deep in that fucking thing. We have one reschedule already, and they didn't even fucking acknowledge it. Not even a sorry, we were busy. I mean, fuck out of here. It's not professional. The lack of professionalism is no. I don't. And that, people maybe think at this point, hey, Edibles, you're a fucking soda. There's certain professional things you do behind the scenes when you're collabing with people, or you know, doing stuff with people, common courtesies. You show up on time, communicate, give them the proper links, et cetera, et cetera. When there's no communication on one end and they completely act like you don't exist, that's a serious fucking issue. And there's a lot of, and I get it, whatever, tiny shows, but like, you know, at least have a goddamn common courtesy to be like, yo, okay, we can't do this, something came up, whatever. When they don't respond, it just fucking drives me up a wall. It's the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen in my life.
Truthfully, I meant more YouTube channels rather than guests.
Okay. That's
okay. And again, you don't have to say, you know, thrice, you know.
So I said BFP. No, I never really expected much from BFP's channel. He's actually had an okay channel. His first channel.
Not necessarily the channel; it could be the person.
Oh, just something that's let me down that maybe I used to think highly of, and then just now it's just like, let's see here. Trying to think.
It could be the time Colin was naked and you were disappointed in all that he had. You know, you were expecting him to.
That's a funny thing. Is that I used to be a drunk asshole back in the day, dude. So it's like when people get drunk and they do one or two, silly things, it doesn't really bother me. I know that irritates a lot of people out in the community because like, oh, this person said this. I'm like, dude, that motherfucker had 12 beers and he probably doesn't even remember it. You're gonna hold him to that standard? No, just fuck it. I mean, at the end of the day, some people are just losers. It is what it is. Some people, you can't unloser a loser. They're gonna be enabled by a bunch of loser mobs because the culture of toxic positivity takes over, and some of these people cannot physically process the word no or negative shit happening in their life. They just don't know how to do it. They'll just bury their head in the sand of fucking positivity and just keep trying to manifest gold or whatever the fuck they do when they just don't acknowledge reality. And you can't do anything with those people. You just really can't. I mean, you can try to help people, but if somebody doesn't want to be helped, you just can't help them. You can provide all kinds of water. If they don't know how to fucking use a straw, that water's useless to that person. You know what I mean? So, but as far as like channels or people that have let me down over the years, oh man, that's a good one too. I mean, I don't know. I think I would expect some more out of some of my buddies. Like, there's a lot of potential out there that's untapped. I know a lot of people under the guise of mental health or this or that, say, oh, I can't do this. You just do it, man. Just fuck like you today. You probably nervous as shit doing something like this. You're taking a chance. Yep. This is crazy for me. Absolutely. You're nervous as I get nervous every single week after I get off work at 5:30. I don't give a fuck if it's a guy coming over, Johnny. Like every single show, I get the butterflies. I do. I think these questions gonna be good enough. As soon as I turn the camera on, boom, it's all gone. You just got to do it. You can't fucking sit there and not do things and expect the world to come to you. And it's not attacking anybody. I guess it's just a general. What the fuck are you doing with yourself on YouTube? If you want to just hang out and do whatever, that's fine. But when there's things that people are telling you to do that you could do that you're good at and you're not doing them, evaluate yourself. Maybe do those things a little bit. Take a chance. There's some good YouTube knowledge out there. We have a great network. We know a lot of people. I would say we're probably 1, 2, 3 people within knowing everybody in the entire world at this point with all the people we've had on and network and shit like that. And you're waste opportunities like that, fucking talking on a faceless stream with 2 other people about jacking off. Fuck out of here. It's a waste of your time. You know what I mean? But you got to embrace your talent, man. And sometimes people are never going to realize that because they're just lazy. It happens. People like comfort zones. They do. They don't want to get outside that bubble, man. The more you get outside that bubble, the more money you can make. The more chances you take, the higher your upside is. You sit around and do what you always got, you're going to be getting nothing. That's for a lot of people.
No, fair play. I'm not naming names because I don't want to wreck the first show by doing that. But I think it's time for a word from our unofficial sponsor. Just in case anybody from Bushmills is watching. So,
if you want to sponsor this guy, Bushmills Irish Whiskey, hook it up. And to be fair, I've actually I bought it in the Republic, but I bought Bushmills back in '99. I bought some and brought it home. It's good. It's a quality whiskey. I'm not a whiskey expert. I don't even drink, so I'm the wrong person to ask about whiskey. But Bushmills was a quality product. If you're out there, Mr. Bushmills, sponsor the captain here. We'd really appreciate it. Even give him a discount code for the t-shirt shop. Something. The guy would he would buy so much fucking whiskey from you people if you just gave him a discount code for a week. He wouldn't stop talking about it. He would literally buy like a fifth a day. He'd be like the biggest boozer ever. You guys
darn kidding. Right, so this question, sort of, you touched on it sort of a wee bit. So bear in mind the suffering you've had, okay? Have you ever considered switching football teams?
Nope. And there's actually a case study for this because when back in '95,
even when they moved,
even when the Browns left, I thought about it. It's like there's newspapers back in the day. Newspapers, the Detroit newspaper would run ads. Oh, start rooting for the Lions and this. You just find out you just don't care. I equate it to you're familiar with hockey. There's 4 major sports in America typically. Some people argue, soccer is a major sport. It's not really yet. Maybe someday, who knows? But football, basketball, hockey, and baseball are the major sports. Cleveland doesn't have a hockey team. So it's like kind of hard for me to follow hockey and root for hockey. I mean, I got a lot of friends like hockey. Chad likes hockey. Thrash likes hockey. Carl and them like hockey. But it's like, for me to physically root for a team that's not from Cleveland.
Did you just call? No, Thrash. We weren't going to slag you off. Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
So it's like, what was the original question? I done forgot again.
Would you ever consider?
Oh yeah, switch a team. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I mean, I'll just quit rooting for the sport before I switch a team. I mean, I'll get more enthusiastic, less enthusiastic, depending on what's going on. But because it's hard when the team's fucking 2-12 and they're playing a game. It's kind of hard to get up for that. You know what I mean? But hope springs eternal. We'll see about the.
Yeah, I just thought with the moving, you thought, well, fuck you, I'll support the Cowgirls or whatever, So
this next generation doesn't like it. My kids don't like football at all. They don't. They couldn't even name a guy in the Browns. Which for somebody like me, some people are like,
you know why that is? It's the attention span thing. Your football is too stop-start. It's too slow. For people that aren't born into it and ingrained into it, kids now are so used to and I'm not having a go at them, but kids are so used to this. It's instant. It's 60 seconds. It's what's the new TikTok? What's the new YouTube short? Mm-hmm. They're not. How long is a proper game? A full game last? 3 hours?
Yeah, it's 3. I mean, it could go anywhere from 2 hours 45 to 3.5, depending if sometimes it goes in overtime. But the thing about football, NFL football, is that it's one of the last sports or one of the last things in America where you can actually get your product seen by people if you're an advertiser. So the advertising thing is just not going to go away. It's just not. I mean, it's I know what you're talking about because like in the Premier League and World Cup and shit like that, you got a running clock. It'll start it. 0 and go up to 45, then they'll hold up a random number that nobody knows about and add minutes on the clock. But it's like
I'm not comparing the two because I know it's just a cultural thing. We prefer proper sports where you watch adverts, so it's different, and ours is just constant. It's 45 minutes plus injury time and it goes. So at the end they stop for 15 minutes. But kids now want, I mean, if you put a kid down to watch The Godfather 2.5 hours, the guy you go, Daddy, leave me alone. I'm phoning the fucking, I'm phoning the social. I want, you're torturing me. It's just the one short, move on, instant. So, but right now this one's interesting, and you have to just hopefully the wife isn't watching, but
she's not now. She's not watching.
That's okay. If you can sleep with one celebrity. Who would it
be? Is Angie in the chat? No, I'm just kidding. If I could sleep with one celebrity, I'll tell you what, man. I've always had a thing for Heather Graham.
Yeah, I've got something for Heather Graham too. In fairness,
Heather Graham in Boogie Nights when she was Roller Girl was probably one of the hottest fucking actresses ever. If you said I couldn't take Heather Graham, I'd probably pick Justin Verlander's wife, Kate Upton. Oh, Kate Upton's glorious.
Yeah,
she really is a nice piece. I mean, you know the body type, fucking big tits, big ass, fucking all natural. I mean, it's
big tits, small feet. Yeah,
it doesn't even have to really be a celebrity, but
no, yeah, not even because I'm going to lay some of my cards here. I mean, Ana de Armas. I always pronounce her name wrong. She's a Cuban actress. She was in, she's done all sorts of things. But she, I'd kill Blake for her. She's lovely.
Let me tell you something funny, dude. And you may say I'm crazy when I say it, but when I had Sam Fox on, after we left, we talked for about 45 seconds. She's like, "See you later, sweetheart." I think she had at least a vibe. Like if I know she's like married to a girl now, but. If we're in the same area, I think I would have a chance to go out with Sam Fox. I'm just saying. You could tell after a while, dude. You could tell. You could tell when there's chemistry. When you've been doing this interviewing thing for as long as I have, you can fucking read people. And I was reading Sam Fox, and that was fun, bro. It really made my day. It made a couple months actually. It was cool. It was really fun.
Oh, and I should mention Rachel McAdams. Although. Now she's got hairy armpits, not enamored with hairy women. So yeah.
What about? Do you remember Jennifer Love Hewitt? She had some big ones.
They were too big.
Perfect. I like the big titties, man. I like the D cups, bro. Like too. I love me some D's, bro. Fuck.
That's why you mentioned Angie right away. Big titties.
Angie's a running joke. I just go right to Angie because she's always there all the time.
Okay, so next one. What is your spirit animal?
What is my spirit animal? Let's see. I had an answer for this. I'm trying to think of what it was. What would probably a bear? Because I just like sitting around and just not doing anything for a while. Bears are cool, but I don't know if a bear would really be it though. Because kind of the let's see. It's kind of weird to say, but dogs, like just a retriever kind of dogs, loyal, like getting fucked up, like having fun, being around people. I'd say a dog is probably it. It's a weird thing to say because most people are going to pick something fucking mystical like a zebra or giraffe or rhino or some shit. But I think it would be a fucking nice golden retriever. You know what I mean? Soft ass mouth,
Everybody loves you.
Not a castrated dog. Like I still want to have my balls and shit, but probably a dog.
Well, yeah, because I get that with you because they're loyal, they're lovable. They're always one of the favorite animals. So I get that because, and I think you have an awful lot of bluster in you. But you're a loyal guy. You're a family guy. You look after your friends and stuff, and for me, I was asked this one day in work, if you could be any animal, and I said a sloth, and everybody was all, I'd be an eagle, I'd be a bird. I said be a sloth. I could lie on a tree all day and get stoned and not move. That would be me to a T. I don't think that's what they were expecting, but such as it is. So this one's a little bit tougher. Okay.
Shit.
Does God exist and does he love you?
Does God exist and does he love me? I mean, I was brought up Catholic. I still am Catholic, so I can't say that God doesn't exist. I think God in the way that people want him to exist probably doesn't exist. Like, he's not your personal concierge. I think a lot of people are always, I'm all about the Lord and this and that, but they're only that when it's down times. You know what I mean? Like, you can, and it's weird because, like, it's hard to talk about religion with people because they just instantly jump at the nitpicky bullshit details of, you said this guy did this, and it's not about who does this in church or who worships it. It's about just being a good person, isn't it? I mean, it's not fucking hidden. It's not like a secret to what a good person is to be. Like, everybody knows how to be a good person if you learn right from wrong. So, like, religion teaches you basic guidelines of right from wrong, what to do right, what to do wrong. Now, does organized religion as it exists now exactly in the Bible probably happened? Got to be real? Probably not. It was a good set of parables, written to explain things to people who really don't understand it. I mean, it was written well over 2,000 years ago. Some of the events of the Bible were written 200 to 300 years after the events happened. So it's like me writing about the American Revolution. Like, I wasn't there. I just writing off stuff I read. Could all be hearsay. You know what I mean? So whether the events, and I've looked for evidence online. I really like this kind of, delving into, did this person exist in that? I type in, research did a physical person named Jesus actually walk the earth? I was taught in high school, my 12th grade theology teacher. Oh yeah, there was a guy named Jesus. I still haven't been able to, even Roman censuses and shit like that. There was no proof, like ironclad proof. I'm saying that, that kind of thing happened. So as we learned it, does it exist? I can't say that it does, but I think the whole underlying thing is lost if you're thinking about it in that term. You got to be thinking about more of a humanity aspect and being a good person aspect as opposed to a sacrifice and doing thing aspect. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can go out there and party and still be a good person just because you smoke weed, just because you drink beer, just because you do coke, whatever. I don't do coke, but just throwing that in there. Just because you do those things doesn't mean you're a bad person. You can still have good intentions. You can still do good by the earth. So I think a lot of people like to project too. They really do. It's easier to blame others than to better yourself. So if you hate on things that other people do for relief or for, just to get by in the world, it makes yourself look better in your head. But in reality, that's kind of selfish. So I'd say, just to answer the question, yes, but, with some gravy on it, because you really have to think of how it's represented as opposed to what people think it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, I mean, I've been listening. There's been a lot of talk recently because of the stuff that's happening in the world, and about the different religions and all that there. And I actually think, even as an atheist, I think religion's been a net positive for the world. I really do. I'm extremely opposed to organized religions. The actual churches themselves, quite happy for people to believe what they want. I think once you organize in the groups in any situation, it's a fuck up. You know what I mean? But Um, somebody had a take on it the other night saying that religion, if you take it as a set of rules, even the Bible, if you set it as a textbook for how to live, it's a pretty good book. Just don't fuck over your neighbor, don't cheat on your wife, shit like that there. And I like that, because I'm Douglas Murray said it one night on a show. He's an atheist, but he's he considers himself what did he say, a Christian atheist, because he believes in the structure that it gives,
Right.
And I do firmly believe that, if I don't think you're an actual churchgoer, but if you had that support group, if you were going through rough times, you could go and talk to your priest, and go, look, things are tough. What do you do? And I like that. It's not for me, but I understand that. So right. So a silly one again, maybe then. So if you could pick one superpower, what would you pick?
I would have the ability to give homeless people housing. Just like point at that guy, boom, he has a 1-bedroom apartment. Boom, he has a ranch in, Aylesbury. Boom, that guy lives in a hotel.
Wait, so the grant wishes.
Yeah, well, just the ability to eliminate suffering would be my superpower if I could do that. Maybe eliminate dictators without.
Would that not be omnipotence rather than one superpower?
Well, maybe the ability to eliminate world dictators with no repercussions would be a good superpower. I'd really like to get rid of President Xi. Really like to get rid of the guy in North Korea, Vladimir Putin. I'd like to see go. Dude in Belarus needs to go. The guy in fucking Venezuela. If those 4, 5, 6 people didn't exist, but who am I to say that some other idiot wouldn't step up in there? It's like in the first Gulf War, Captain. They said the reason they didn't take Baghdad originally is because there was some other idiot who would have stepped up in Iraq that was even worse than Saddam.
That's it.
That's why they kept so long.
It's an incontrovertible, fact of science that vacuums, get filled. So, yeah. So you wouldn't want invisibility to go in and be a pervert and stuff, no?
Nah, because, after you get to a certain point, you're like, okay, you know how to, talk to women. It's not really a necessary skill. You know what I mean?
You pick the Powerball numbers. What did he win? 1.7 billion.
Yeah, they taxed that, and then he's probably going to get like 900 million. And I know that sounds like only 900 million, but it's like
he only gets 774 million. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that kind of money instantly, because it's like, you feel empty. Like, why would I get this and nobody else does? You know what I mean? So you'd almost have to give it all away to feel good inside. And I know it sounds weird, but like, what the fuck am I gonna do? You sit down and do nothing all day. I got to do something. And even then, okay, hey, I pay $1 million to get Michael Jordan on the show. What would he do? Then do me, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to earn your money, man. There's so much more pleasure if you earn things than if you're just handed to them. You know what I mean? Even if it's you use what advantages you're given to get certain things and then earn them. Like if you're an actor and your dad was an actor, whatever, you get some opportunities. But if you earn that yourself and you really do a good job, that's a lot more satisfying than, here you go.
Yeah, Thrice, I thought faith was a horse, not hope. I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, I don't know. I've thought about these from I wrote these questions. I forgot some of them, to be honest, because I wrote them about 2 weeks ago. But I'm not sure what I would pick, so I'm going to glaze over that one. So, right, next one then. So, who on YouTube has surprised you the most?
I got 2 people to answer this question. Paul from Paul Right Lawns. I just when he went live and there were 1,700 people. How many people was in the chat? That surprised the fuck out of me. Like, this is cool as hell, man. Like, he's gotten more viewers in this one thing than he's had in his entire show. It just surprised me. And I'm not saying Paul didn't have talent, but for that to latch on like that and to blow up, that really surprised me. Really made me feel good. And JV's another one. When JV was just sitting there at like 300-400 subs, and he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to get my shit done. And he cranked out some of the pretty banger shorts we'll see in the community. The top 10 lists are not hard to do. And he just got up there just like that, proved it could be done to show other people we're not going to name Blake, that, you know, it can be done. And that was really cool. I was really happy when JB got there. Those two really surprised me, and I felt really happy for those guys when they got there.
Although I want to point out that JV only started to really rocket once he met me, you know.
That's true. That's true.
There is some correlation there, you know. So, hello. Yeah, I think he's had a wall these days. But right, here we go. So next one then. Let me see. Can't even remember that. Right, sorry. What is the single best experience of your life?
Ooh, that's a good one. Single best. There's a couple times it could have been the best, but I was too drunk and the threesome didn't happen, so that we have to take that off the table. But wow, single best. I mean, the obvious stuff when your kid's born, you know, championship stuff like that. I would say, this sounds weird, but like when I got monetized on YouTube, I know it's maybe not the best moment, but I would say I was the most proud. You know, when I did finally get monetized, because that was a lot of work. This is back before shorts. You know what I mean? You had to, I think I physically talked to 500-600 people, you know, through streams like this, and just, yeah, hey, check out my show, this and that. You guys saw yourself and this and that. So that was probably right up there when I did that. I felt immense pride there. I mean, is it growing at the arc I want? Hey, who knows? We're having fun with it, you know. Like I was just telling Johnny in the earlier show, you know, we're here to get high, make friends, and have fun. If we make money off it, fine. If not, we had a good fucking time. We got really fucking high, dude.
Yeah, you're just right, because I was talking to somebody earlier, and I won't name them, but they were feeling. I'm trying to tell them they need to start hammering stuff out and use their super chats and all that there. But they were feeling a bit guilty about it, because I think, you know, some people think it's almost like panhandling. I said you can't do it. I said, you remember, Joey's asking people to pay him to get fucking stoned, for fuck's sake. It's a job. It's a fucking, you know, do it, you know. So yeah, fair play. It's definitely something to do. I mean, I personally, for YouTube, for me, I've met some great people through YouTube, and that's the way I look at it. You know, I'm not chasing monetization. You know, I'm really glad I took a chance, because, you know, I used to watch you guys on a Friday night on JVs, and JV and you and all were like, for fuck's sake, come up, and I wouldn't for ages, and I actually said I would never do it. I kept saying I'll never come on camera, and eventually it did. For whatever reason, I did, and then everybody made me feel welcome, and then it was the worst decision JV ever made, was bring me up on his panel, because I ruined his show, and he doesn't even do it now, you know. But yeah, sometimes you have to just do this shit, you know. So right, next one then. Have you loved enough in your life?
Have I loved enough? Yes. Have I been loved enough?
I don't necessarily mean sex. I know you're going to go there. But
no, I'm just saying.
And if that's how you want the answer, yes, feel free.
Just in general, have I loved? Oh yeah, I put out way more love in the universe than I get back. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I'm just in terms of, you know, making sure people are okay, checking up on people, making sure people are secure financially. There's a lot of stuff I do. I don't even tell people to, because I'm not trying to be some kind of fucking Johnny come lately, but dude, there's a lot of effort I put in to make sure people's day. Can I go over to their house and fucking slap them on the face and tell them it's gonna be okay? No, but I like seeing people better themselves. I like seeing people being realistic with themselves, acknowledging their flaws, and you know, moving on with life. When I see people in the same rut and they're just not listening to people, they're not doing anything, it just irritates me. And after a while, I just can't be around. I mean, I'm not a amino. I'm not gonna not return a message if the people are, you know, serviceable, and I'm going to be okay. But I mean, the people I put the time and energy to, the friends I care about, I'm going to give you my all. I mean, I'm not going to sit here, and I'll do what I can within reason. I mean, I can't move people into my house. I can't fly around the world in a moment's notice and, you know, just to cheer somebody up. But I mean, I'll take 5-10 minutes out of my day, give them a call, message them, you know, whatever they need, you know, tell them the most non-homo way that you're worth it, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, you know, one person can only do so much. So I realize my limitations on that. You know, you can't go out and save the world all the time, because, you know, you can put so much effort in that shit and you just drain in it. And if nothing changes, you're just like, fuck, what did I do all that work for? So you got to do it at the right time. You got to help people when they want to be helped, when you feel that's, you know, because some people just keep coming back. That's the thing that irritates you. Sometimes you give some, oh yeah, help me out here. And then fucking week later, oh, I'm not playing that game, bro. That's not fucking happening. Like, I'm not here to enable. I don't enable at all. If you got capabilities and you're not using your capabilities, I'm going to call you on it. I expect the same out of my friends for me. If you can have bad days, sure, everybody's not going to be a 10, but you can't keep having bad days every single day for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. It just doesn't fucking happen. The odds against that are impossible. So you got to fucking take responsibility for yourself and do things for yourself. The only person that can hinder you is you, dude. Like, some people just mind-boggling how they just I was fucking 3 years in a row every single day the worst day of your life. Like, move on at some point. You can see people on Facebook, oh, I'm really missing my mom or aunt or whatever. It's like the mom died 15 years ago. Fine, whatever, but there comes a point in life when you just got to move on.
Yeah, I know you like your comedians, but Jimmy Carr was on Joe Rogan the other day, so I was listening to this. I was working from home, so I was sort of able to just have it play in the background. And he was talking about, he says, people have to have this point where he's sick of hearing people talking about they weren't hugged enough or the diss trauma when they were young and all the rest of it. And he says, you have to have a certain point. He says, if somebody at 18 comes to me and he says, I have a hard life, I was kicked out of the house and all, he says, that's fine, you're 18, okay, I've sympathy. But once you're 25 and you say, I was kicked out when I was 16, shut the fuck up and get on with it. He says you should have a party at your 25 and go, all my issues are now behind me, shut the fuck up and move on. But you're again, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but you're quite a loving guy, you're quite a good dad, you love your kids, so I would say that's that's important, because you said to me before, you have people coming up to you, going, oh, you're such a good dad and all this because you're taking them bowling or you're taking the cinema, and you're saying to me, but that should be the bare fucking minimum,
Literally,
being a dad and taking part in your kids' lives, so and I think that comes across, and this is what JV says. Yeah, there you go. Joey's one awesome dude. Although JV likes everybody, so he's not necessarily the best judge, So
JV would make a great supervisor. Let me tell you why. Because he's a very good judge of character, and he knows how to get the message across about people, but he doesn't do it in public. You ever get those supervisors who they'll just yell at somebody right in front of all customers? That's not the way to do it. You got to pull them aside. JV would be phenomenal at that, I think.
I think so.
Your house for
although I do get the impression at some point he just pushed out of the road and do it himself.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the
guy. Look, I'm sick. Just move.
Like, fuck these people. I'm putting the tanks in that, or the tracks in the tank.
I'm just doing it. This is how you do it, right? So. Right. So now I this one's just specifically for you because I know you've done a bit of this, but where would you most like to travel to and why? Because I know you've been to loads of places. So,
where I like most to go now? Fuck. I wouldn't mind going to Hawaii. I wouldn't. But I'd like to have like I want to visit you. You had a house and shit like that. You can visit somebody who had a house in Hawaii and hang out there and smoke weed for a little bit. But even then, I would have to have the right people. It's like, I don't know. I'm more of because you can, like in the Guard, we could go anywhere. If you had the right people, it was a fun trip. Like you go up to Volkfield, Wisconsin, or Alpena, Michigan, or Savannah, Georgia, or just some random ass city or base in the middle of nowhere. But if you had the right people with you, it was just a fun fucking time. You can make your own fun. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm never going to be bored. I always have a good time wherever I go. So it's like, as far as places, I really do like the water though, man. The Virgin Islands was legit. I really do like smoking by the water and just hanging out there. I like to get, I wish, as opposed to, where I like to go, I like to have more people in my friends group be able to travel like I do, for sure. Like I'd like to go down to the Virgin Islands and have, 8 people go, or, go to England and have 3, 4 people go with me or whatever. But it's like, I know not everybody has it, the ability to travel or passports, etc. So, but I would much more rather have others have the ability to travel with me as opposed to just picking a specific spot. Because like most spots are kind of the same when you break it down.
Yeah, I think it's the reason I didn't travel more when I was younger. I always struggled with somebody to travel with, and I was never quite prepared to jump on a plane and just go somewhere. I would always rely on other people, and then it was, I'm not sure, and then shut up and just fucking say yes, and just even when we used to go to Amsterdam every 3 or 4 months, it used to really piss me off that all of him and Han and and then the flights would cost more, and just fuck up and book the flights, But I mean, I've only been to America twice, and I wish I'd have met all you guys years ago when I was more fit to travel, Where now I could just jump in a plane myself and go, fuck it, I'm going to Cleveland, or I'm going to Arkansas. Well, maybe not Arkansas, but you know what I mean. But I'm going to go somewhere,
You got to be realistic here, bro.
Yeah, because I've got friends that I get to travel with, And saying that, I think some of you, if I turn up and rob your door, would be, we're not in. But who knows? Who knows? You never know. Maybe when I win the Powerball at some point. So, next one. What's your favorite color?
Brown.
Let's get some serious questions answered here.
Brown. Brown's my favorite color because brown is nobody else's favorite color. Yeah, it's nobody else's favorite color, and I love the browns. So that's why brown's my favorite color.
Even though to quote Reservoir Dogs, I don't need Mr. Brown, you may as well call me Mr. Shit.
I just love the Browns are the only team in major sports to have a brown jersey, and it's such a me and Cleveland color. I just love it. I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like fuchsias. I like purples. I like shit like that. Aqua blues, tans and shit like. But my favorite color is just brown. It just because you get a Browns jersey on, you just feel like, okay, we're going to tailgate. We're gonna have some fucking fun today. We're gonna have some shit weather, but we're gonna make the best of it. You know what I mean? It's it's almost like putting on a uniform in some aspects.
Yeah, no, I get that. Although my team plays in red, and it wouldn't be my favorite color, just because of that. So, right, next one then. We're nearly there. You get to go home soon. What's your favorite song or and band?
My favorite band is probably a tie between Guns N' Roses and System of a Down, just because I like their entire catalogs. I mean, I grew up on GNR. I just really love some of their songs. 1 in a Million, Patience. I mean, they're all bangers, man. It's fucking great music. And System of a Down, that Hypnotize album and that whole era, 2005, say, oh, this is great. These great songs. My favorite song is probably a rap song. I know you're going to kill me for that, but Ice Cube's It Was a Good Day is just such a, if I'm ever having, I don't listen to much music, but when I do, it's usually very like mood oriented music. Like if I just had a really banger day, I'll just say like Google play that, Ice Cube It Was a Good Day, just a banger. If it's like one of those days where it's like, fuck, is this ever gonna end? I'll just like play Obla Di Obla Da. It just goes on. And that song gets me through a lot of days. I'm not gonna say I sit here and say I have bad days, because I see who's in the chat. I see our friends group. I know there's some people, their entire best day is probably worse than my worst day. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get that part, but like Oobla D goes in, and if it's End of the World by REM, I just like that song too. Just, it just sit here, just chill music, and it just plays, and the world goes by, man. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you haven't named a bad song. I mean, they're all good songs. And I think you're right. I think a lot of it just depends, what mood you're in. If you're in a somber mood, you're going to listen to one song. If and sometimes you just want. I used to get stressed out, be in the office and be really stressed out, and I'd walk to the car park and I'd be pissed off, I'd be angry, I'd be, hoping to drive over, somebody on the way home, but then I'd stick AC/DC on or something in the car and I'd turn up really loud, and literally by the time I'd reach the gate of our, of our yard, I'd be, what the fuck was I worrying about, so.
I'm like that with some Metallica songs. Come falling faster, obey your man.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets and One are probably my favorite Metallica songs. Those are right up there.
Sometimes you just want loud, angry music. Sometimes you want, you want a love song, and you want, if you're smooching with the missus on the couch, you want a bit of Luther Vandross or whatever, so.
Luther Vandross. It's the weekend now, bro. Chicks like the weekend.
I wouldn't know. I'm old. I'll stick with Luther. Not that I get to smooch on the couch with anybody anymore.
Some of the Al Green, though. Al Green was. I don't like Barry White too much from the Get Down music. Barry White was kind of just whatever, but Al Green really, let's stay together. Oh, fucking hell. That'll melt a chick right there.
Yeah, no, fair play. So, right, next one then. This is the last of the 20, so we're nearly there. What one thing from your childhood do you regret your kids not having or doing?
Probably riding a bike. I never really taught him to ride bikes yet, which is kind of a failure as a parent. It's just the ability to, I don't know, it's weird because it just morphed into this thing where the kids don't really have any like friends. Like back in the day, we just all go outside and play with the kids in the neighborhood. I just don't do that anymore. I think a lot of that's because of helicopter parents. I mean, you get a lot of parents who just don't let anybody watch their kid at all. Never let the kids go out of the house. These kids are gonna be maladjusted, man. You got to let your kids fly, dude. It's like a baby bird. You can't hold the bird up and just have him flap his wings while you're holding him. You got to fucking throw him off the tree and fucking see what he does. And a lot of parents just don't do that. I do give my kids a lot. I keep Jimmy, if he had his way, he'd probably just play more video games and stuff like that. But I keep him involved in the tap dancing and in the Boy Scouts because it does provide a good, structure. And both my kids are okay at listening to directions. Are they perfect? No, but am I perfect? Obviously not. I mean, look at how I keep a house. It's pretty messy, whatever. But like, at the end of the day, I just wanted to make sure I taught my kids the value of a dollar and a good day's hard work and how to follow basic directions. And I think they got that. And that's all you can really do as a dad. That's all you really can do. Because if you overthink that shit, you're going to drive yourself crazy. I mean, there's so many random things in this world that, you just can't control because it's beyond your control. I'm not going to sit here and worry about, you get all these people that worry about, the human trafficking's up over here. Do people get human trafficked? Sure. I guess you're worried about it? No, because what can I do about it? Well, what's one guy going to do about it? I mean, for one, half the reports out there are typically bullshit. Somebody want attention. And two, it's not going to change the world. I want to leave this world a better place than when I got it. In my 20s, a lot of it wasn't the best. I was destroying a lot of shit, being an asshole. So I'm making up for a lot of shit, you know what I mean? So that requires being a good guy. But I'm authentic too. I can't be something I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a churcho. Do I mind going to church? Sure, church is okay. But I can't sit around and have a discussion about something that doesn't interest me or isn't my thing. It's like, but I still do want to be loved. I want to be, appreciated for what I do, what I put out there. All right, I mean, and sometimes, you get it. Sometimes you don't, it's, you just got to live, man. Because if you're not living, you're dying. And I'm not trying to die anytime soon. Could I get hit by a missile tomorrow? Sure. But I'm not trying to. I want to be here in 30 years. We have the same conversation. You know what I mean? Morning, everyone. Laz is just getting up nice, making them donuts.
Yeah. Well, I think, truth be told, I don't mean this the way it's going to sound. That's probably the most predictable answer because it's exactly what Ada said. I'm not saying I had an idyllic childhood, but we literally would just get out of the house. Your mom and dad was like, get the fuck out. Go and play football. Go out on your bike. Go out and play. Come back at dinner time. Or if it's raining, you're allowed to come home. Other than that, get the fuck out. We don't want to see you for a lot of hours, and you went home. And a lot of the time, your mom would be starting to get dark, and you're there. You're married to pack screaming for you to come home because you weren't allowed to play in the dark. And I think kids miss that now. And it really worries me now that kids aren't learning that. And I'm an antisocial fucker. So, but what little social skills I have, I learned because you were threw out of the fucking house. I dread to think if I was born later and then I was allowed to just sit in the house and play fucking Nintendo and, and not go out and do shit because, I used to take 4 buses a day to school. I had 2 buses each way, and I traveled them on my own. My mom went the first day with me to show me where to go, and after that was right. Okay, bye. I'll see you. And now everybody's driving fucking Range Rovers and all to take little Tarquin to the fucking school because they don't want to walk, and and I think you're right. So, but yeah. So this is the +1. This is the last one. So. What's the single best piece of advice you can share with the world?
Just be authentic. Don't be something that one, you can't be, or two, you're never going to be. Don't sit there. Like, say you wanted to make it on YouTube and you're watching, the people in our group. Don't be exactly like that person. Don't react to the same shows they do. Maybe do what they do, but with a different spin or something else. Find what you really like to do, but properly finance that shit. Don't let your money. Well, I said it once perfectly on stream. I'm trying to think how I said it, but don't let your hobbies finance your dreams, let your dreams finance your hobby, something like that. Basically, make sure you got the money to do what you do and take nice, acceptable risks to better the world and better your place, better your children's place, etc. Don't listen to 90% of this shit people are saying because mostly it's bullshit. All good advice in this world is typically free. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. You know what I mean? If it was that easy to be a YouTuber, everybody just buy a $500 course, throw up a couple videos, put a thumbnail on there and the title, and that'd be a day. And everybody be fucking millionaires. But they're not. I mean, the chances of being a millionaire in this platform are fucking nothing. You probably have to get brand deals, work with outside sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. For you to make it, you got to be real and you got to get lucky sometimes too. You do. A lot of it's just fucking taking a chance and getting lucky, man. Bottom line.
I think one thing that comes through from this is that you're YouTube obsessed. Because I wasn't necessarily thinking best advice for YouTube. I mean, just in general, for life. Maybe YouTube is life, you know?
No, but I mean, best advice in the world is just leave the world a better place than you came in. I mean, and you know there's enough standards out there to know what the world is and what making the world better is. You know what I mean? Like one thing I do all the time, this is stupid, but when I'm at like a Target or Walmart or, you know, clothing place, if I see something on the floor, I always got to hang it back up. I don't know why. It's just how I am. I see something. It's, you know, could I walk right by it? Sure. But I just take 2 seconds to hang it back up because that'll help out the retailer and maybe make my experience in the future better. You know what I mean? Do the proper thing. I hate to use do the right thing when nobody's looking because that's cliche as fuck. And I can't say I do that all the time because if I'm lazy and if there's something really bad, I'm probably not going to do it myself just because I'm that lazy. But, you know, just try to do better by the world, basically. I mean, it's not rocket surgery, as they say, to be a better person.
No, it's not. No, nobody says rocket surgery. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science.
And that's why I say rocket surgery, because it's got to be different and not be where everybody else is, right? That was my favorite back in the day. They'll go, yeah, it's not rocket surgery. And then we always get them laughing.
No, fair play. So this is what I'm going to end. Well, there are a few questions I've marked in the chat, so we'll do that next. But is there one question you want to ask me?
Is there one question? What do you see? Well, let me ask you this. Why don't you come over here at some point? You know you're going to. There's beautiful people and assets in this side of the world. All it takes is a fucking passport redo and a fucking plane ticket. You would be, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's the key to happiness. There's still the doldrums of living in Northern Ireland. But man, you're going to regret not coming over here if you don't at some point.
You mean to travel or to live?
Just travel, not to live. If you come over here, you fall in love, you can live in Tennessee, fine. But, I mean, just to travel, you're going to, like in 10, 15, 20 years, if you're like, oh, 2025, man, I was so glad I went to go over there and see those guys.
I've been to America twice. I unfortunately didn't know you guys back in the day, so I now do.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I got to pee before we get into the audience questions. Let me pee.
Okay, no problem. And this is the horrible bit. This is the bit where everybody's looking just at me. See, when Joey's here, everybody looks at Joey because Joey's much more attractive, much more interesting. So, no, Thrice. Well, yes, Thrice. I could quite happily live in Arkansas. As long as trust me, I've thought about moving to America. Once I get a bit more money, Arkansas wouldn't bother me at all. You could buy guns in Arkansas, right? That's good enough for me. It's all I really want in life. Just a wee bit of land, some guns, and the ability to shoot somebody if they come onto my property. I don't ask for much in life, so. Yeah, and I could kill it over there because over here I'm just a fat, ugly bloke. Over there I'm a fat, ugly bloke with an exotic Irish accent. So it could work, especially these days that I'm rocking the long hair and all. Because most men my age don't have this good a head of hair. Although I did notice earlier that I've got a distinct line where the color stops and it all goes grey, which is weird, I'm not going to say I'm your Huckleberry. I'm not going to say it. you know. So um, let's have a look. And I should say I have been trying to do the comments, but it's difficult. I think Joey will say the same thing when you're theoretically interviewing somebody. See, I'll do bust the cat in public blame on barking spiders. He's stepping on a frog. Oh, bust the cap means, you know, I say bust the cap. You know, I've seen too many gangster movies. Bust the cap means shooting somebody. I've been to Vegas twice. I loved Vegas. I was nearly in tears having to come home from Vegas, especially the first time when I still had money in my pocket. And I don't want to go home. You can't make me. I'm staying. I'm enjoying myself. You know. Um. We'll see. We'll see. So.
All right, sorry about that, brother. So you gotta go.
Oh, you're all right.
All right.
Well, the honest answer. Well, there's two reasons. I'm too fat to travel now. I was thinner when it was easier for me to travel and get in the plane. And I've got too many family commitments. You know, my mum's old.
It's true. That's true.
She's ill, and I have family commitments. I love America, and Jesus, I would love to have known you guys when I was younger and could travel more. You'd have been sick to say to me. It would be, oh fuck, not this guy again. You know. I'd have been the one, like, because over here I used to be like you. When you were organizing the Cleveland trip and all, and you were trying to get people to come over here. I was like that. It was me always organizing. Fuck it, we're going to Vegas, or fuck it, we're going to Amsterdam, or we're going to Liverpool, we're going over to see a match. It was. I was that guy when I was younger, but I just, I've aged out a wee bit, and I've just family commitments, So, um, so that's the honest answer, and maybe if I lose more weight, and maybe if,
fitness is the last thing that would make me like fucking Superman, dude. Like, I'm already tall. I'm already a respectable lover. I'm already a good dad. I'm already a funny guy. I'm already an entertainer. I already got an acceptable amount of cash. If I was in shape, fuck, there's no stopping me, bro. Imagine me with the six pack and guns, shit. I'd probably be fucking president of the fucking United States in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'll be honest, I hit a brick wall. I've lost, before I started coming on camera, I was a lot heavier. I actually lost a clatter of weight. But I've hit a brick wall where I've just struggled to, I just sort of stopped. I haven't put weight back on, but I stopped losing weight, and I really needed to do it. And funny enough, the guy in our gym's brilliant. I've been boxing and everything, and it's really good exercise, and it makes me want to really punch people when I'm out of gigs now, because now I know finally how to punch people properly and knock them out, So, but that's the honest reason. I'd like, see, when you were going to Cleveland, I was sitting here. There was times I was going, fuck, I'd love to be there, and it's, with all due respect, I've met you, and I'd travel every day to meet you again. I'd really enjoyed it, and Angie was there, and Carl, and all the rest of it. But I really want to meet Blake and JV and Thrash and all the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. One of these days, I'll tell you what. If we ever get sponsors, and it's inevitable with the legalization of marijuana, we're gonna get some sponsors, dude. It's gonna fucking happen. We'll see if we get a sponsor to fly you over or something. We'll get some affiliate sponsorships. I don't know what the fuck it's called. We'll look into it.
Well, you're in the military. If you get me on one of those big fucking military planes with the transport tanks and stuff, that's what I need, So
okay, I might be able to do that, because I still have contacts at the DOD. I could probably get you to Lake and Heath or something like that, and just fucking put you on a 130 or not 130. Put you on a C-17 to be your vibe. You'd be good on a 17. It's a nice plane. It's a nice bird.
Yeah, I mean, one of them big Russian things with the trans, that's what they need to put me in.
Dude, I got a funny story. Not really funny. Well, it's funny and it's tragic. But when we were in the desert, we contracted with the Russians to run a lot of the cargo and stuff in theater. So like they would have these Russian planes, and they had no safety standards at all, dude. You know how it is on a plane. It's the FAA and the International IATA and all that, got all kinds of ridiculous safety standards. Like, airline travel is the safest travel you can do. It's bottom line. It's not even a question. And like, combine that with the Air Force type environment where it's pretty double really strict. And then to see that we give these Russians money and they follow literally no procedures at all, like nothing. The plane would land with cargo. These guys, that you could smell the vodka on their breath. They'd be in flip flops, smoking cigarettes. They're like, "Oh, here you go, Commandant, your cargo." And we'd always comment like, "There's no safety. This is horrible." 6 months after I got back from the desert, one of their birds went down. The whole crew passed away, and you can't. I mean, when you just fucking have no safety procedures, whatever, what do you expect? It's going to happen.
Yeah, well, they don't go down that much. They're, hold on, I'm just asking. They don't go down that much. Their actual record's not that bad. You'd think, it's because I do think sometimes we overcomplicate things, and sometimes we spend too much money on stupid stuff, and it's weird. I mean, when you look at the Russian space, flights and all, compared to what NASA do, theirs cost a tenth of it. But is there really much difference in the outcomes? Just we overcome. I know they don't value life as much as we do, which is maybe a big sweeping statement. But yeah, I've got that mark, JV. That one's okay. I've got that. Yeah. Don't you look at the chat, dude? No spoilers. But yes. So
I would love to jump out of a plane, but I don't want to do it with a dude strapped to my ass. And like to get the accelerated free fall or whatever you need for that, you got to be. I probably have to lose like 10, 15 pounds. I think you got to be under 250. But dude, I'm not gonna jump with the dude strapped to my ass. It's just not gonna fucking happen. I'm sorry. I just gay pictures. People are like, oh, and then there's like a fucking guy on their ass. Like literally, his dick is right up on your ass.
Yeah, the tandem jump's weird because I actually raised the money for a charity thing years ago, and then they said, look, you're a big guy. There's a way. The weight limit's relatively low for them to have to tandem jump. I say relatively low. I mean, I'm 6'3", and I'm a big. Even if I wasn't fat, it's still going to be too heavy for a lot of it. Because you're the same. You have a similar frame to me. Only you're healthier, which is weird with you being such a stoner. But you would struggle to hit the weight to jump on your own, even though you're not fat.
It's like 225 or something like that. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, just because you're a big guy. But I did the thing. It was you used to do a thing here where you raise a certain amount, and it says, right, well, we'll throw you a plane and you'll raise money for a charity. It's a bit of a con, but the charity gets some money and you got to do it. But I did it, and then they went, well, actually, you'll have to tandem jump, and you have to jump if you jump on your own, you jump from 2,500 feet. If you tandem jump, it's 10,000 feet. And so I'm saying on the phone, yeah, no problem. That sounds grand, and the phone's down. Yeah, because it was old phones at that point, and I'm thinking about it. I went, fuck no. I mean, although it's stupid because you're going to die from 2,500 feet anyway, so 10,000 feet, you just get to enjoy the view on the way down before you die. But I was thinking, what if this prick's got a hard on at 9,500 feet because he gets the adrenaline rush? What do you do about it? And then you get down to the bottom. You're probably, and I guarantee that's what happens. You're so relieved to actually hit the ground. You do the Pope thing. You get down, you kiss the ground, and all, and then you forget. Hold on, he was rubbing against me for 5.5 minutes. So
if you want an occupation and you're a guy that gets a lot of fucking pussy, it's skydiving instructor.
I heard.
And broads love Dude, I've talked to 3-4 different girls who went skydiving. Like, oh yeah, I dated my skydiver. You know what they say when we say we dated? That means they fucked. It's like, Jesus Christ, you knew this guy for a week and you're already fucking banging him. Like, these guys get fucking ass. It's crazy, dude. Chicks like them exciting jobs, man. They like danger. It's weird with them women. It's weird like that.
No, it's it's a weird one. But women, Angie, cover your ears. But women are idiots. Women just they want the bad boy. I'll change him. You know what I mean? And then the bitch after 5 years that he's treated like shit, that he's cheated and all the rest of it. And there's so much style over substance. It's scary sometimes.
Yeah, they want to be bored, or they don't want to be bored, and I get it. But it's like, and that's where we blame social media. I mean, it's not like dude. If I had fucking Facebook when I was in high school or when I was in my 20s, fuck, probably have like 8 kids now, dude. It's just so different with social media than it was before. Like, before you had to be in the place of the person. You couldn't be considered any bit awkward, because if you're awkward, fuck, there you go. Her whole friends group thinks you're awkward, and then you got to go to a different bar to get to see some different women and stuff like that. But with social media, fuck, you could just not be a fucking tool, and it's easy on there.
Yeah, no, fair play. Right, do you mind doing some viewer questions here?
Yeah, totally, bro. We got all night. I ain't doing shit. I'm off tomorrow. We can get high as fuck.
Right. Okay. So, as a Thrash, when you're talking and concentrating, what are you looking at in your room?
When I'm on the interview, I always got the questions on my phone, so I'm always looking at my phone. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'll look up if there's a game on. I'll occasionally look up, but I'm always looking at my phone typically for questions and stuff like that. And I'll look beyond. Like I never really look right at the camera. I'm always looking at you, or looking beyond. You know what I mean? That whole 1,000-yard stare thing. Because if you look just at the camera, you're not going to get in the zone like you are if you just look beyond. You know what I mean? So my eyes are never looking right at the camera.
This is the first I've ever done something like this. So I'm looking because I've got the chat here, and I'm trying to keep the chat going, which is difficult when you're. I know it's easier when you're just on a panel, but when you're actually asking questions, it's you got
to have pertinent stuff too. That's why like when I have a guest on, I mean I'll acknowledge one or two of the chat, but I don't say hi to the chat. I just keep the show going, because it's like the guest isn't there to say hi to Carlo, Lucha, and Dorito. Anybody. They're there to. The guest is there to be interviewed. They give their time.
That's slightly different, although I am conscious of the fact that a lot of the people who have turned up to watch this are just mine and your friends, so I don't want to ignore them either. But I get your point when you're interviewing like a proper famous person, not just YouTube infamous the way you are. Right. So JV wants to know, and I think you could guess what this one is.
Beatles or Queen? I don't think I've ever answered that, have I? Fuck. It really is a tough one, right? Fuck, because it's like Queen has more talent, but man, this is no fault of their own, but like their songs got played so too much by some of these music stations. Like Bohemian Rhapsody is a phenomenal song, but after Wayne's World and all these, we play all the hits of 80s, 90s, and today. After all those stations, it's kind of hard to listen to sometimes because they play it so much. So like, I would say, if not for the influence of radio, it would be Queen, but I just got to say Beatles, because Queen just gets, and the Queen does have some shitty songs. I guess the Beatles do too, but some of Queen's shitty songs are like Fat Bottom Girls. That song's just not good. I don't like it. Because it also gives the permission of all the, you just look at the dance floor and it just really changes when that song comes on, bro, and not for the better. You know what I mean? It's
I don't know. I'm not. I like that song weirdly. As like the fattest person on the panel, I quite like that song still.
And the "Don't Stop Me" song, "Don't Stop Me." It's like it's annoying.
No, but no, Fat Bottom Girls. Because I actually genuinely resent the fact that they've tried to ban it recently. So if only for that reason, I would be playing it. Constantly.
Isn't that the best way to get known now, though? Just say you're canceled. Look at that one. You remember that? What was that fucking country singer? Not the weird. Not the. You know what I'm talking about with the "Don't Try This in a Small Town." That song.
That wasn't even that one. Yeah, but that wasn't John Rich. It was. Oh, fuck.
Clint something. I don't know. One of you country dorks, tell us who sang that song. I know Blake knows. But dude, the country music television never canceled that fucking song, dude. I'll guarantee you what happened. The owners of that, the producers of that guy, they're like, "Yo, CMT, we need to get in the news."
Jason Aldean.
Aldean, yeah. So Jason Aldean's people were like, "Yo, CMT, say this song's offensive, so we can get some pub." And the next thing you know, it's number one. That was by design.
Yeah,
and that's one thing that does really piss me off about entertainment, as somebody tries to keep it, vibe positive and entertaining and fun, is that it's no secret that negativity gets clicks. You know what I mean? You create drama. People love drama. Oh, what's he going to say about Captain today? They got beef or they're going to fight? People love that stupid shit. And that really pisses me off because it's fucking pointless. And it's just bad whatever in the universe. But like, that shit, it just gets fucking clicks. It's no secret. You look at some of these genres, these dating genres. All you gotta do is talk shit about people and tell people what they want to hear. It's not your fault, it's their fault. And boom, you got fucking 10,000 subs and fucking $3,000 a month in profits. I can't roll like that, dude. I can't be unauthentic. And what we do, the vibes we try to create, be real, be positive yet effective, not enabling it. There's no money in it. You just gotta do it for the love of the game,
Yeah. Right. So with another one then from JV. What's the favorite interview you've done so far? And feel free to say this one, but you don't have to. There's no pressure.
Oh, that's no problem. I've done so many. Man, favorite. I mean, I gotta answer that in segments because, like, when we first started doing interviews, Peter McNeely was for sure my favorite because it just kind of put me on the map, at least basically on the map, because like he was just so real with his answers. He just really gave it from the heart, and I'm friends with sponsors again. And I'm friends with McNeely on Facebook, and I don't know if he's either being catfished or what's going on in his life, but I really think there's some like CTE. I mean, it's clearly obvious there's some CTE going on up there, and I really feel for the guy because how can you hate Peter McNeely? He's just such a authentic guy, and I really, really don't. I've had him on the show twice. He's never given me any kind of bad vibes. Always joked with me good. Been fun, really good dude. I wish the universe just would have done him better. I'm glad he's still around. Hopefully he's still around for a long time, but I don't know what's going on in his life right now. Hopefully it's getting better. But I mean, talking to Tommy Chong was transcendent. I mean, it was it's Tommy Chong. It was great. Jake the Snake was pretty fun too. Man, Sam Fox, the more I think about it, I'd love to just, motorboat Sam Fox. Like, call me sweetheart, bro. It was cool. Like,
yeah,
that was really fun. But I mean, the favorite questions are kind of hard for me because I'm like a category guy. Like, oh, I like this person. If you're talking about this kind of interview, or this person did that kind of better interview. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so many. I mean, there's a category I got under the. There's a playlist. I got Joey Edible's favorite shows, and those are some of the more fun ones I had with the Buff Bagwell interview. He was pretty out there, but that one I knew. That was when I was like, okay, the show is gonna be good. It just because I was at the time it was like 31 people, and that was only like fucking 400 or 500 subs. That's a lot of people watch. So that was really fun.
See, a lot of your interviews were before we met. The Right Said Fred one, I keep meaning to go back and watch because I actually follow them on Twitter. They're
I do too. They're funny. They're really
the Freds, and they're actually quite despite being gay and stuff. They're very conservative, and and I actually think they're a great role model for that demographic because you like a bit of cock, that's fine, but I'd say that just fucking be normal. You don't need to be prancing about and and trying to fuck everybody else's life. And I think they're brilliant. But the weirdest one. Was it the guy Ebert, the futurist?
Yeah, Andrew Eborn. I remember him.
Eborn, that's it. He was really interested because you say to me, as long as he's a talker, and he was, and I also remember because you sent me a message after, like, it always made me laugh. You said, thanks very much. I had no fucking questions for him, but I kept pumping him into the chat because he was British, and I asked him about the royal family and shit like that there. But I thought he was really, really good, just because he was interesting and he wasn't a fence sitter.
Right. The funny thing about him, dude, is I follow his Octopus TV on Facebook or on YouTube, and for some reason he just doesn't pull in the live numbers. I don't know what it is. No,
I just like somebody that has an opinion. I don't have to agree with it, but have an opinion. Don't sit on the fucking fence. You know what I mean? So
I have a fucking set, man. Fucking take a stance. I mean, I get it if if you don't understand the Israel-Hamas thing, I probably don't either. That's why I don't see me posting about it. But just like other random shit, I mean, it's easy to have an opinion on. You just fucking
look. You know me. No, I'll venture an opinion on almost anything. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I'll throw an opinion out. And I think that's it. It is what it is. So right, one from Lex Tex, and Lex, it's great to see you coming back. So I know you've been away for a while, but.
Love Lex. What a great guy.
Yep. Joey, what is something you miss?
Something I miss. I'm not gonna lie, I do occasionally miss drinking. I do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still like going to the bars, like hang out with drunk people, but I mean, you tend to get bored fast when you're around drunk people, and you know what I mean. So it's like I do miss it occasionally. I mean, other than that, not too much. I mean, I'm pretty much doing the same things now, even funner now than back in the day. But yeah, I would say miss drinking a little bit. I miss. Do I miss the military? Yeah, here and there, but I mean, not really, because it's like I never really got the career field. It's a weird thing to say because I did 20 years, but it's like I didn't sign up for that career field when I first got in. Like when I first got in, I was supposed to be an electrical systems apprentice, but then I didn't make weight down at MEPS. They call it MEPS, Military Entry Processing Station. So I had to get reclassed into something else, and it was some kind of mechanic school or some shit. And I flunked out of the first block when I was down in Texas. So they reclassed me into this air transportation career field. And some parts of it, I didn't mind. I mean, the passenger gate stuff was good. I love doing that. Like in Iraq, I was just a gate agent for anybody who came in. That was fun. But like the building pallets and cargo, I fucking hated that shit. I never liked it. Like they would be like, oh, build this pallet. And I would just like fucking disappear in the back and make something up. I never got it. To this day, I was in 20 years, I could never build a fucking pallet the right way.
Yeah. No, fair play. So, another one from JV, and thank you, JV, for what would be the perfect day for you?
Perfect day for me would be a Sunday. Get up, wake up, smoke, probably first thing, get nice and toasted.
Thank you, Carla.
Have a sex session with the wife or whoever was willing in the room at the time. Then maybe eat some bacon, probably nice breakfast when you're high after that post fuck high, and then smoke some more. Go down on the Browns game, preferably a playoff game. That'd be ideal. Have them win, come home, get high some more, and just fucking at some point hang out with some buddies, party, and just come home, fuck around. Well, just come home, fuck around YouTube, have people over. Ideally, I'd like to have you ever seen those content houses they call them? I'm not saying I want to have fucking people in there all the time, but I really do like when people come over. I mean, that was initially when we did it, all the time we had people over. Every week we'd have 4 people over, and sometimes a slight audience. But over, as a pandemic hit, it takes a long time to bring that shit back. People move on. Tom used to be on the show. He's probably never going to do it again just because he has kids and whatnot. Don's got different work times, etc. Mayo's doing gigs in New York and all over the fucking place now. He's probably gonna hit it big in comedy. Remember that name, Anthony Mayo. He's opening for some big guys, man. That's a cool thing about this, man. I'm 1 or 2 people away from knowing. I know every comic in Cleveland, literally everyone. The big ones are on the radio. I mean, do I know them intimately? No, but I'm friends with them on Facebook. I fucking, if they see me, they're like, hey Joe, how you doing, bud? That kind of stuff. So I do like that aspect. Am I famous? Not by any stretch. That's the thing, is that so many people will get ahead of themselves in the famous thing, dude. Like, you're just another person, man. I mean, EB, for example, EB's got 100,000 subs. EB can go to the mall. He's never going to get held into the mall. I got news for you. EB can go right in the Home Depot, buy a fucking 3/4 inch thing of pipe he needs for his fucking bathtub, walk right out, and not one person will bring up YouTube the entire time. That's how it is. YouTube famous is a whole different ball of wax than real world famous. And some people, most people know that, but in some people, it's like it takes a while. Like we're famous in our community, sure. We get people that come up on a panel, say hi in the chat, but like the grand scheme, we're just fucking 1 in 10. There's 10,000 other communities just like ours.
Oh, absolutely. But I have to say something, and again, I don't mean this to be insulting, but it shows you how badly you've been beaten down as a Browns fan. That your ideal day is only a playoff game, not the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Right. Surely your ideal day would be the Browns win the Super Bowl, and then you go to party with your mates and hang out. Not just we'll play it. We'll reach the playoffs.
Just the playoffs at this point. That'd be nice.
Yeah. That's I think you have to aim that a wee bit higher. So. Right, so I'm apologies up front, but this is a question with Blake. So it's going to be stupid. So,
I asked Blake, you stupid. Do you worship me?
Joey, do you worship me, or are you a full blown Blake holic?
I take it. I'll tell you some news about Blake, man. I really wish, and I've been saying this for a year and a half. This isn't a fucking new opinion. I've been telling this since early 2022 probably with Blake. I really wish Blake would just get his head out of his ass, put a couple shorts together, and fucking get monetized already. Is it going to solve all his problems? Oh, fucking course not. But that's $300-$400 he's leaving on the table just because he's fucking lazy. Do basic panels, do basic shit, you'll get there. But he's lazy. He likes the excuses. Whatever. He knows it. We all know it. I'm not going to, beat a horse. If he wants to do it, he can do it. If he doesn't, that's fine. I think he likes playing the victim. He's like one of those women, keeps going out with the same type guys. You know what I mean? Because it's easier to be the victim and complain about things than it is to be productive. But,
look, I've said this. We're not going to listen to the Vice Blake session. Love Blake the bits. If I had Blake's charisma and likability, I'd be fucking right up there. You know what I mean? Blake doesn't have to work at this shit. Some of us have to try and work at it, and that's so. Blake, yes, we are sort of Blakeaholics, but it doesn't mean it's good for us.
We're conditional Blakeaholics. We're rooting for you, but you gotta get your head out your ass. Bottom line.
Yeah, and so the last question then of the night from Chris, who is not even here because he's on Carlos at this stage. But how many cookies have you eaten at one time instead coherent or even instead away?
Oh, jeez. The most, because cookies vary in potency. I've had 6 or 7, and I've been fucking floored. I mean, usually it's gummies. I don't usually do the cookies for Super Chats because they're so much stronger. But before we wrap it up, I'll tell you the highest story. We did a show once where I tried to overdose. I got to go back and find out which number it was. But I went to the dispenser and I bought these little bottles. They had these little bottles of, it's called tincture. And I bought, they're 500 grams a piece is in the bottle, I think, and 500 milligrams, something like that. But it comes out to like 1,000 milligrams. So I did 1,000 milligrams of that, just like a shot. I did the whole, it's like 30 doses in each bottle at least. And I did each one like a shot, like 1,000, like it was insane. And I got really, really goofy and started laughing for a while. And then I went to sleep and I literally slept for 19 hours. It was about 19 hours I got up. And I got up and I was laughing uncontrollably. It gives you a headache. And I'll remember it to this day because it was probably early 2020 because it was right when the coronavirus first came out. And there was this picture of this girl. She was just standing there. It was a regular chick in a bikini. It said coronavirus, but the V in virus was like her pussy. And I just laughed for like an hour about that, but God, I have a headache. So it's like you can't overdose on weed, you just end up falling asleep typically, and you'll just laugh too hard. It's usually how it goes.
No, fair play. So right, I think that's us. So hold on, let me kill that. Sorry. Boom, boom, boom. Let me just put. This is where I should have had JV in the basement doing everything for me, So, right, this was a trial. I really enjoyed it. Thank you,
job, brother. Fuck yeah, man.
Thank you very much for doing this. We've done, fuck's sake, an hour and 37 minutes. Genuinely didn't expect that. So you were my guinea pig. We'll see, whether I do it again. But I really enjoyed it. Thank you for doing it. I appreciate you, coming up. I appreciate everybody in the chat that watched and commented and added questions. So thank you very much, Joey. If you anything you want to say or shout out, or you had interviews coming up soon that you want
to? I don't have anybody on tap. Johnny Lecter did say he was going to send me some names of people he thinks would be good. So that's how it is. You just got to network, man. You just got to get to know people and get to know their community and go from there. I mean, will everybody translate over? Of course not. But if you talk to this guy and you get 2 or 3 out of his community, you talk to this person, you get 1 out of their community, and you keep doing that year over year, eventually you'll get to where you want to be. Just take some time.
Yep, he certainly does, JB. So, thank you. Good night. I love some of you a lot. I like some of you a wee bit. And take care.